Welcome back to another episode of the Silly Little Girls Club. My guest today is the inspirational Mikai McDermott, a true multi-hyphenate who's redefined what it means to work in beauty with purpose, perspective, and actual transparency. From hairstylist to beauty theorist, Mikai's journey is anything but typical. She's built a name for herself with her talent, her eye behind the chair, only to walk away from it all to study at LSE, launch a community platform called the Linen Service, and start completely again, but this time on her own terms. In this episode, we talk about what happens when you monetize your passion and it stops bringing you joy, the reality of beauty standards, filters, and responsibility for creators online, and why she believes women need community more than competition. It's honest, it's clever, and it's full of, wait, I needed to hear that moment, and I cannot wait for you to hear it. Let's get into it. Hi, welcome.
Hi, Sam.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on the Silly Little Girls Club.
Of course.
I'm so excited that you were free and were able to come on.
Why not? I love the podcast. I love what it's about.
Oh, thank you. It's definitely a passion project for me, and being able to have conversations with such incredible, inspiring women is literally why I've done it. And I think your journey is so inspiring. I feel you've
Thank
transitioned. You do so much stuff, right?
Yeah. It's like a good and bad thing. Yeah, it's like sometimes I feel like I can't decide what to do. Then I want to try everything.
Yeah.
Everyone says it's like my best and worst trait that Makai will try anything. So
to see what
it's
sticks.
working so far though.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of happy with it. Yeah.
Oh my god! I suppose if somebody asked you now what you do, to describe what you do day to day, what do you tell them?
I actually asked ChatGPT so could you please write a one sentence thing about what I do? My day to day, I'm a content creator, beauty theorist, consultant, writer,
Wow.
and I have a members club
Oh
with the Lipton service.
That's amazing. But I feel you started in hair.
Yeah, yeah, I love hair. It's like my deep, true passion.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in a hair salon. My aunt was a hairstylist.
Okay.
She'd do my hair every weekend. It was like a ceremony. It felt like a ritual. So when I grew up and I was thinking what is it that I want to do? Hair was the first thing that came to me.
Right.
And I was naturally very good at it because I had seen her do it for so long. And then when I worked at Tony and Guy,
Oh,
I feel like that's so vintage.
It's it was a thing back in the day, to be trained at Tony and
Exactly,
Guy.
it's a thing.
Yeah.
So I was really happy to be there. It was the one in Romford, which
Okay.
is, if you know, it was just massive blow dries. That was
Oh
all
my
curly
God,
blow dries,
stop.
big, massive.
But they're all
space.
back now.
Exactly, it's like a
Like,
full circle thing.
yeah.
And then I went freelance really quickly after. So that was, I think it's been I spent 9 years.
Wow.
I started really young and then I left really young.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Feels like you had one life and now starting
God,
another
yes.
life, right?
I feel like I lived a whole life as a hairstylist, and then I was like, I'm just gonna hang my shears up.
Yeah.
Won't be going back.
Oh my god. And we were just talking about that, weren't we? So that you hung your shears up in 2023?
Yeah, that was it for me. I was doing my master's degree and I was doing session at the same time.
Wow.
And the master's degree was full time. So I would go to class with my suitcase, with my kit, and then after class I'd go to shoots. It was it was quite manic, to be honest. And then when I graduated, that was the start of COVID.
Wow. Okay.
I remember maybe 4 months before graduating, I got an email from uni and it was oh, we're going to close now. So there's no more lessons. It's all going to be online. So I finished online.
Yeah.
And I remember I was supposed to be doing a TV show on Sky.
Yeah.
And they had just booked me and it was going to last for 6 months. And I was so happy because I was going to be paid with all freelance people know.
Yeah.
And they cancelled the TV show. All my clients cancelled. Everyone who had shoots. It was such a crazy time.
It was nuts.
And during that time, I pivoted and I was making hair content online.
Okay.
So I would talk more about hair and beauty, but I was also speaking about what I studied for my master's degree.
Yeah.
So that's how I grew a following. They always knew me as doing something else, but recording my life as I was doing it.
gosh, that's really cool. Like, so to touch back on like obviously your degree, so what made you go and study? It was history, right?
Yeah, I think through this episode, like, people will be like, does she have ADHD? I wanted to be a lecturer.
Okay.
So whilst I was doing hair, I was like, I feel like I could study, like I want to write about beauty. I want to write about hair history. I wanted to write a book about hair ethnography. Like I was really interested in the science and history of hair and how we come to understand and practice the styles we do. So I did international history at the London School of Economics, and I wrote about women, basically. That
Wow.
was my master's thesis. I wrote about women across the diaspora, how we engage with each other.
Wow.
And that sort of led me into my work today. So I feel like
Wow.
everything was
Like just
individually,
happening.
they were all really big things to decide to do, but then they all kind of came together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is interesting, isn't it? Like this whole the whole beauty industry and like everything. It is quite small, but there's so much you can do with it.
Yeah.
And it's like what you think will be one thing just transforms into something completely different.
Always.
Like at what point in when you were doing hair, were you like, you know what, I actually want to go and study? Like, what was that like light bulb moment? Because that's quite a left field choice when you've got an established career and then it's like, oh.
I was on set for a video shoot.
Mhm.
It was like a young artist with Island Records.
Okay.
And it was a really intense shoot. I think it was like 14 hours or so. And whilst I was doing it, I was kind of like, do you like this? Like when you like something until you monetize it.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Right.
So I really loved hair and I loved the creative expression. But when it became like my main source of income, I was like, oh, I don't like the pressure
Yeah.
of feeling like I have to do this.
Yeah. I can't
So,
relate.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you have to do all like the boring parts, like the admin, and just no, thank you. And like production chasing you down. You've got 10 minutes, and then you want like a floor length braid or something.
Oh my God. And then trying to get paid.
Oh my God.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Trying to get paid.
And all the best work had the worst pay.
Yeah. Or if there was any pay, right? Like,
Exactly.
and it's not sustainable.
No.
Like, that's how you get burnt out. And that's how, like you say, yeah. So
Yeah.
you're like, no, I'm done. I'm off to study. And then.
Yeah. And when I went off to study, I don't know if I thought anything was going to come of it.
Mm-hmm.
During the master's degree, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do a PhD. Like, I'm going to be a person that reads books for a living.
Yeah.
And then I finished and I was broke. And I was like, well, if I'm going to do a PhD, I'm going to need money. So I guess I'm going to have to like try and be online more.
Yeah.
That was like my line of thinking.
Fine. So shop more online and you develop that side of it.
Yeah.
You facilitate.
So I was like, I'll try and build a profile.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like the struggling hairstylist.
Yeah.
Getting great work. Pay was like I could live off it.
Yeah.
But not much else.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I think I need to do something else to support my creative endeavors.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to the end. I was like, okay, I've graduated now. I've got this degree. I'm not gonna do a PhD.
Yeah.
My friends are telling me to make tutorials
Yeah.
because I'm already good at doing hair.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I literally just started filming every single day, and it was lockdown, so everyone was at home. There was nothing to do.
Yeah.
That's how
kept you sane and helped you grow.
Yeah,
Like,
actually.
so how did you use that to carve out like the beauty theorist part? Because like that's what I think really makes you unique compared to other content creators, is like that element to it.
I think because I had the history background and I had read so much about feminism and global feminisms, and that was the thing that interested me the most, it felt truly like a natural thing for me to speak about. So whenever I would read about beauty, I think this is still a current issue, that a lot of writing and theory on beauty is at least 20 years old. There are very few writers that are understanding the way that beauty is unraveling online.
Yeah.
And there are also even fewer people that are able to conceptualize what all of these things mean and think about how it changes the way we look at ourselves and the way we dress our bodies and how and what we're communicating to people by doing that. So I felt that there was a real gap for that. And there's a really famous essay by Gia Tolentino, and it's called The Instagram Face. She wrote it in 2018.
Okay.
And it basically talks about how a lot of the surgeries that young women are getting is equaling this singular face, which is perfectly poised, big cheekbones, tiny nose, full lips. And what does that face say about beauty currency?
Right.
So I was really invested in understanding what it meant for other women like me who were showing up online, but also in our friendship circles, the things that concerned us were, how do I lose weight? Or how do I get my skin like this? Or what can I do about my hair? Those things became more pertinent. I didn't feel that they were as urgent maybe 20 years ago as they are today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Sorry,
It's
that's
like,
kind of long.
no, it's amazing. I feel like I definitely need to like find that essay and link it in the.
It's so
thing,
good.
'cause
It's
it sounds
on the New
incredible.
Yorker. It's really good.
Wow. I mean, because when you say it like that, like literally everyone is a clone of one another, aren't they, online? And it's like, it's toxic and it's like this whole comparison culture and then you can go into
So
it.
toxic. Yeah.
It's like, what is like, if you had to, I know it's like a huge subject and it's a huge question, but like, what do you see as like the biggest issues like online with that kind of
Oh
thing?
my God.
You've definitely heard of Redken, right? The brand that hairdressers swear by for amazing hair care and styling. Well, I've been a hairdresser for like 20 years now, and trust me, Redken has been a staple in my kit for years. Their products just work. They are powered by science, designed for pros, and there's literally a perfect match for every hair concern, whether your hair is feeling a bit dry, damaged, or it just needs that little bit of extra love. And if you've ever wondered how we get that next level glossy colour in my salons, it's Redken. It's our secret weapon. The shine it gives hair is unreal and it actually leaves it feeling healthier, which is kind of magic. So if you're thinking about a little colour refresh, then ask your stylist about Redken. You won't regret it. Or you can find a salon near you at redken.co.uk. All right, now let's get back to what you're actually here for.
The biggest?
Like, I'm just thinking, like, what is it that's like you need to be like screaming at someone, like, why aren't you seeing
Real.
this?
That's the biggest. If I could scream something at any young girl watching, it would be, this is all fake. Like, there's filters on filters on filters on videos that you're watching. There's filters to make your waist smaller. There's filters to make you look taller. A lot of us as creators, we do have a responsibility, I think, to be transparent with our audience. And if you're getting surgery or you're changing your appearance in order to profit, there's a real gray area because your audience believes that you look that way because of a product.
Wow.
And I think as we're growing up, as like I'm approaching my 30s, 30? I don't know, I'm 27. As I approach 30.
Oh yeah, you still got a while to go.
And I think that when I'm listening and like seeing other girls that are like 21, 22, they are looking at me thinking like, oh, like she's really beautiful. Like, is she just turning up like that? Well, no, because I told them I'm getting Neogen with my doctor Karen, and each facial is £500.
So they know.
There's work to do before you sit down and do the get ready with me.
Yeah.
And I want people to know that.
And that's, and I think that's so refreshing. And I think, you've got to look back, like, one of the things that really worries me about, like, the way things are going with the digital age is, like, I remember being, like, 12 and 13, and I couldn't give a fuck what I looked like.
Yeah.
Like, I was out, like, I didn't even want to wear a training bra, like, for God's sake, let alone have a full face of makeup. Like, I wanted to be free, I wanted to run around, I wanted, like, and now I look and these girls are perfectly contoured, and it's, like, it's crazy. Like, some of them don't look like children.
Yeah.
I'm like,
there's even the tweens who are now called Sephora tweens.
Yeah.
They're called.
well, yeah, it's a big thing.
Yeah, that's now a massive thing. Like, imagine being 12 and like thinking that you need a drug elephant vitamin C serum.
Yeah, it's crazy because I actually did a podcast in Sephora and I was talking to Sabina, who's like the head of like comms and PR and stuff in there, and she was saying that this is a real big thing that they're just trying to navigate because they've got they can see it. Like the kids are coming in with their mums, and their mums are just buying it then.
Yeah.
When it's like, whoa, they're not reading it, they're not doing it. And like the
Yeah.
brands like Drunk Elephant and Play People, they're kind of, I feel like, are they doing enough
Yeah.
to stop that?
Yeah.
Or are they just thinking, oh, that's a £60 moisturizer, thank you very much. And like,
Yeah.
you've got kids using retinol.
Yeah, exactly. They don't understand that they don't need it. I literally went to a talk with the British Beauty Council a couple of weeks back, and they also spoke about a responsibility that businesses have with misinformation. And when you're giving your products to creators, there's also the onus is on you to make sure that they're educating their audiences properly. But then at the end of the day, I also think profit is like a real big thing for a lot of beauty businesses. Beauty is such a massive market.
It's huge.
I feel like it's the only one that's growing year on year when everything else is failing. So I don't know if it feels like such a complex issue.
I think it is a huge issue.
Yeah.
I think, like, you know, it's only expedited by the digital age, and the spreading of misinformation is so quick and so easy.
So easy.
And like, you see people speculate and people not being transparent. I mean, we had a conversation earlier about, you know, Lindsay Lohan, for instance. It's just like, we all want to know what she's doing, but she is not being transparent. And then you've got all these people saying it's this, and theorizing on what it is. And then it's just like, it's crazy. And I think, like, you know, that whole transparency piece that you're talking about in terms of, like, you know, before you're doing the get ready with me, that is just so important. Like, managing expectations.
Yeah. And I think a lot of, because it's my job, I know what goes on. And I think sometimes people like you and I, we take that knowledge for granted. Like, for us, it's just our day to day. And sometimes when I'm speaking to like my boyfriend or my friends and I say something in passing, they're like, wait, what? Like, you have to go and do this, or microneedling with radio free. Like, all of these procedures that we think are common knowledge are not. So I think the people who watch and engage with us, they would assume, oh, she just looks great, so that's why she's an influencer, because she looks great.
And it's like, no, I work at this. I spend a lot of money.
And beauty is a job. And I think sometimes when people don't respect it, because a lot of women are doing it, it's mostly led by us. But also because it doesn't have the same reputation as like working in the city, like grit and fierceness, and you need to know how to like bargain with people.
Of course, that hustle culture, isn't it?
But beauty has so much in common with people who work in the city. And I think if we were all able to be a bit more open-minded, we'd be able to discuss more.
A little bit more. I think it's that stigma, though. It comes back, you probably experienced as a hairdresser, it's that stigma around beauty and around when you choose to do a job in beauty, no matter what it is, there's for some strange reason, a stigma attached to it. Like, oh, that's an easy route, or, you know, that's like, you know, they mustn't be able to do a PhD or whatever. And it's like, you know what? No, we can, but you just like not seeing us. And it's fucking annoying. Like, and it's amazing there's content creators like you there that will sort of shatter those sort of glass ceilings and let us know that, you know, that's not normal. These people showing up online, it's like, I see it all the time on Instagram, like as a hairstylist, watching people do hair tutorials and talk you through misinformation. I'm like literally screaming at my phone, like, no. It's like, that's not how that's done.
And hair is so tricky, because I don't think people should be doing their hair at home. It's my unpopular opinion.
No, I think I agree.
Think you need so much knowledge and expertise to be able to like not damage your hair.
And people just don't have that. And you know, there's a huge thing in hair obviously now, where it's not everybody's able to deal with every type of hair and every texture of hair, and then that becomes damaging, because like you get, again, misinformation. People are being told different things, and I think, you know, some women with curly hair don't even know how to look after it. And it's because like their parents didn't even know, and they'd be straightened it out or didn't even talk. So it's that whole education piece. It's wild.
And I think when they go to a salon, like needing to know, can you look after my hair, or am I going to leave this place distraught? Because we have so much, we have like a really strong relationship with our hair. I think women do, like, we all love our hair. So there's also that as well.
It's so, honestly, I didn't really understand like the importance of hair. Even though I do hair, and obviously understand it makes people feel. But recently, my little sister's been really poorly, and she had to go through chemo, and she literally last week had to shave her head. And like, the difference in her confidence level. Like, obviously she's gonna be fine and everything's okay and whatever, but like the pressure on her, she felt, to find a wig that made it look like
Yeah.
it wasn't there, rather than, like, you'd hope to think like, what, I'm happy, I'm living and whatever.
Yeah.
But the importance of the confidence and what it gave to her, that's really shook me about like how important hair is, what we
Yeah.
do for people as hairstylists,
Yeah.
as like,
Especially now, as I think that beauty is so much more intense
yes.
than it is. Like, beauty standards are more invasive than they were before. Like, like we said before, when you're younger, you didn't have TikTok. Like, it wasn't
Right.
endless scrolling, and it was in schools, and you go in and you're 14 and that's the first thing you talk about with your friends.
Yeah.
And I think that also feeds into why hair is now so much more important.
Yeah.
It kind of all meshes together.
It does, isn't it? And it's like, it's about, I think people are so much more clued up on creating like a whole look and having like that
Yeah.
whole aesthetic, but I don't know if that's damaging. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, you just think like the standards, like you say,
The
it's so
pressure.
high. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, and how do you navigate that, and how do you sort of try and, is there any way to alleviate that pressure on young women or older women that, because that's the other flip of it, isn't it? It's like, people not wanting to age.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm there with the Botox, but I don't want to age. But it's like, the whole thing is just crazy. And I feel like, yeah, and you kind of like trying to do the whole being transparent is, we need more of that.
Yeah, we
really.
do. We do.
And how do you find that that works on like Instagram and TikTok? Are the platforms quite similar in that sense, or you find like you build a community of more people like that are open to different, like, what is it like with the two different platforms? That's what I'm trying to say.
I think with Instagram,
Mm.
they are weirdly more open
Mm-hmm.
to, if you say that you're going to get a facial or something, you have a more positive response on Instagram.
Yeah.
Whereas on TikTok, I think you'll have more people who are like, oh, you shouldn't be getting that. You're promoting like young girls getting these facials or
Yeah.
doing these treatments. So it's like flip side of the same
Yeah.
coin.
It's really interesting.
It's so odd, and I don't know why that split is.
No.
But I've always found that if I speak about something on one platform versus the other, that tends to be the response I get.
Gosh, that's
Yeah.
crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, but I always think you'd rather me say that I did it, like,
And
if I
not.
didn't say.
And also, we'll take the engagement. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
mad. And like, what is your, like, when you're thinking about creating content and stuff like for your audience, like, what is it? What's your thought pattern to be like, right, I know this is going to resonate? Is it just authenticity, or is it like,
They're very vocal, so they always say what they want. They're
Yeah.
like, well, I don't want this. I want to know how to do soft glam makeup.
Yeah.
I want to know how to make my makeup look good in pictures. So most of it is from my comment section
yeah,
and things that I know I would want if I was watching a video.
yeah,
And sometimes I find that with content creation, you're not making content that you want to make, you're making content for an audience.
yeah, for sure.
And really understanding that it's not a selfish journey. It's about providing a service for someone else.
Yeah.
Helps me to really just choose to really say like, okay, you guys want me to make this? I'll make it.
Yeah.
That's actually my process.
I thought that's so nice. And then you build like a really like-minded community, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's really lovely. But like, how do you protect your boundaries and stuff like that with like, because online can be so consuming.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it can be like, when you are getting like those sort of comments and you're like, do you ever second guess yourself? Like, how do you protect yourself?
I second guess myself all the time, like every single day.
Yeah.
I have been trying to have things that are just for me, whether that be like if I'm going through something or I'm reaching a milestone,
Mhm.
I will keep them just for myself and my friends until I feel ready to share. But also the things I share, I ask myself, if someone basically stepped on this with their shoe,
Yeah.
would you be upset?
Okay.
And if I'm like, no, it's fine, I feel really sure about it, then I share it. And if the answer is no, then I don't.
That's so
Yeah.
interesting.
Because I am a soft-hearted person.
Yeah.
Like, I have had my feelings hurt on the internet. I don't know if people don't realize, or they see you as like not real because you're on the screen, but people say such hurtful things. So I do protect myself a little bit,
Yeah.
by saying like, if you share it and they say something and you don't care, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's difficult, isn't it? Like, it's the one thing that I think a barrier to a lot of people creating and
Yeah.
sharing online is,
That fear of being perceived.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. But I always encourage anyone that wants to create content that you just pick up your phone and make the video.
Yeah.
Because
Go
it's
for
changed
it.
my life.
Yeah. And in a short amount of time.
In such a short amount of time. Yeah. So
Man, like having this platform and then like, I mean, you're doing amazing things anyway. I mean, having an essay published by Penguin is pretty like incredible, right? Like, and that's really nothing to do with your online presence. That's like a whole thing in itself.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It's very impressive. I just think it's incredible. And then now, or last year, you've launched the linen service.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we need to know more. I need to know like your thought pattern on like why you wanted to create this, how long you wanted to create it for.
The linen service came about because I wanted more of a community in real life.
Mhm.
I felt like we were all sort of just on our phones. I was talking to my audience, but I'm talking to a camera in my room on my own. And I would always meet people at events or one-to-one, and they'd always say like, "Oh, Makai, I feel like you have such a great community. It would be so good to see more people," or "I'm always looking for a new friend and I don't know where to find them."
Yeah.
So the name, first of all, my boyfriend absolutely hated it. He was like, "What is that? I don't," but I thought of it like a turn down service at a hotel.
Yeah.
So like the behind the scenes, they get you ready for bed, your room's all beautiful. And I wanted the linen service to be that sort of preparation service for women. I wanted them to be able to come somewhere, have the behind the scenes tidying and tucking and finding friends and figuring out what they want to do, if they want to start a business, and then they go out into the world having had their session at the linen service. So our first event was in Christmas, just before Christmas. And it was just a social, a really lovely cafe in Marylebone.
Yeah.
And it was like 50 or 60 women, but it was I didn't expect anyone to turn up. I was like up until like 6 p.m. and it started at 5:30.
Wow.
I was like so sweating with nerves. I was like,
I hate that thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so but it was really lovely. Some people have made friends. And then our most recent event we did in partnership with Raban.
Yeah.
And we had a dinner, so it was more like an intimate sit down. We had about 25 women.
Yeah.
And it was mostly producers, writers, editors, founders, entrepreneurs.
Wow.
So people at very different stages in their journeys, but they were looking for other ambitious women that they could share and collaborate with, and also people who were looking for friends who did similar roles to them.
Wow.
So yeah, that's
Gosh, it's incredible.
Thank you.
Have you? But that one of these things I always think with businesses like this. Have you found friendship with it, or are you still like that person at the top of it now? That's a bit like because
That's
it's a bit.
what's happened.
Yeah.
Does that happen to you as well? Because I actually do want to be friends, but now
Literally.
when I say something, they're all like, "Oh my god, like the founder said something."
Right, exactly. And it's like, you start it on a level, so there's no like, you don't intend for you don't want oh my god, I can't talk. You don't want a hierarchy or anything like that, but there's always that disconnect, and it's like it happens here when like you understand this because you work in a salon. When you worked in a salon, you have all the friendship, you have all of the ups and the downs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, great, I'm going to open a salon. It's going to be just like that. No.
No.
And then it's like, you're here, like, not because you want to be, because actually you see yourself down here.
Yeah.
And then it's that. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
gosh, so that, when the reason for starting it, to connect with women and stuff like that, I'm like, how do you navigate that and make sure that you are getting to connect with them?
I think now what's happening is I've become a bit of a, I don't want to say mentor,
Mm-hmm.
but they'll come and ask me something. Like if there's an issue, they'll ask me, "What do I think? How can I solve it?" And to me, I think that's just as useful. Like if right now that's how you see me, that's okay. We can make the connection later on down the line. Because I do the same with other women in my community. Like whenever I message Sharmadine, like maybe 6 times out of 10, it's like, "Hey Shah, I have a problem and you've obviously done this before, so like can you help me?"
Yeah.
So I understand that friendship is also
It's like paying it
that
forward
bit as
in a
well.
way as well.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
friendship is different at different times in your lives. Right?
Exactly. So I hope that we can all be friends, but if it grows, I want it more importantly to grow beyond me.
Yeah.
So that's like my number one mission with it. Like, I want it to be so big that anyone around the world can chime in. They want to raise their first million. They're looking for an angel investor.
Yeah.
They want someone to open a coffee shop with, or they're looking for the next 5 bridesmaids.
Yeah.
You know where to go. You know who to call.
Gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's what I want from it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How do you even go about like starting to build that? Because like it's like, you know, how do you go from like concept and idea to like I'm having my first coffee meet?
Yeah. I've started to adopt a 7 out of 10 approach with
Okay.
everything. Prior to last year, I was such a perfectionist. Everything had to be 10 out of 10, otherwise I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And it really held me back from actioning things. All the people I spoke to that were doing what I wanted to do, or that had built something of their own, said that as long as you can show up and do something, it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
So with our first event, I initially wanted a brand partner, but I didn't have proof of concept. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to have to prove that it's viable,
Yeah.
and that people are interested and that they'll show up. So I looked around at some coffee shops. I saw Abuelo, that's where I had it, in Marlborough, on TikTok.
Yeah.
I emailed them for a quote. They sent me the quote. They said they do catering. These are the hours.
Yeah.
There you go. Send the deposit.
Yeah.
Send the deposit. I found a graphic designer who was one of my old friends from childhood. I told him this is what I want to do. He made the flyer.
Amazing.
Did that. And then I just promoted it on my socials.
Wow.
And then turned up on the day. And my agents were really, really, really great as well. So I'm signed with Franklin's Forum.
Yeah.
So they gave me great like perspective on what my values should be and how to present those values. And also booking a photographer. I booked to someone that came to capture everything. But it was just bit by bit in stages. It wasn't like a whole massive thing all in one go. I sort of decided I was going to do it in September. And then over the month of September and October, I slowly emailed people, gathered all the funds, gathered all my like inquiries, and then the event came afterwards.
Yeah.
So I don't want people to think, if they want to do something, that it has to be this huge, massive thing from the jump. You can just start small. Sometimes you have to start smaller than you think, but that isn't to say that it's not successful.
No, it's also going to give you don't want to like go out there on a massive scale and then think, oh, I need to refine this now. The whole point of like, you know, doing
iteration.
If it's a 7 out of 10 method, then that's even better, because you can start and then you can refine and then, you know, you'll be a 10.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. And so you've got like more events planned for the year?
Yeah, we've got one next month actually. I'm doing something for founders, or if you're about to start a business.
Yep.
So I'm gonna have about 4 people who have gone through VC funding or angel investment. So they've raised in some way, 4 women, and then I'm gonna have people send in their pitch or whatever they're working on.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna invite them all down, and then they can speak to the people who have raised.
Wow.
And speak about how to raise, like how are we gonna get some money?
Yeah.
Because I feel girls just want to have funds.
We do just want to have fun.
Yeah.
Like,
those all women. I love women. Like, I love women, and we deserve so much, and I want more women to have stuff.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
And a lot of things, this is like quite practical or pragmatic. I was only able to fulfill my potential when I started earning money.
Right.
And I know that for a lot of women, they have so much potential. And the best people I know are often women as well. The smartest, the sharpest.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's just, I need someone to give me a chance.
Yeah.
And the chance could be some knowledge, or like, this is the person to go to ask for something. Sometimes it's just that.
Yeah.
And I didn't really get that. I had to earn that. And I want other women to feel like they can come to somewhere and get it, and it's not with a string.
Make it accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's always smoke and mirrors a lot of the time, isn't it? So
Always.
Yeah. So that's amazing. So anybody listening that wants to be involved in the laundry service, like linen service, sorry. Why did I call it the laundry service?
It's quite so weird.
It's kind of cute.
Yeah.
The linen service, sorry. How do they connect with you, and how do they... You've definitely heard of Redken, right? the brand that hairdressers swear by for amazing hair care and styling. Well, I've been a hairdresser for like 20 years now, and trust me, Redken has been a staple in my kit for years. Their products just work. They are powered by science, designed for pros, and there's literally a perfect match for every hair concern, whether your hair is feeling a bit dry, damaged, or it just needs that little bit of extra love. And if you've ever wondered how we get that next level glossy colour in my salons, it's Redken. It's our secret weapon. The shine it gives hair is unreal, and it actually leaves it feeling healthier, which is kind of magic. So if you're thinking about a little colour refresh, then ask your stylist about Redken. You won't regret it. Or you can find a salon near you at redken.co.uk. All right, now let's get back to what you're actually here for.
Follow us on Instagram, Linen Service. There's a little link. You can basically send us some info about yourself. It's really simple. Yeah, that's it. But you can keep up to date with events and things. Just follow us on Instagram at Linen Service.
At Linen Service.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so exciting. So obviously one thing that we spoke about briefly that I know you've spoken about is this whole stepping out of the hustle culture.
Yeah.
And I feel like having this conversation with you, I'm like, how have you stepped out of this hustle culture? You've got so much going on. Like, what is it that you have stepped out? How have you stepped out of it? And like, what has that brought for you?
I've stepped out of hustle culture. I think it's a mindset thing I've changed. I was always in a rush. Like, I felt like I was in trouble. I don't know how to really explain this feeling, but I would always say to my therapist, like, I don't know why I feel this intense pressure to keep going no matter what. And well, I was anxious, and then I also realized that I was putting all this pressure on myself because I kept on looking at what other people were doing, at how everyone was winning things every single day and growing hundreds and thousands of followers online. And I felt that, okay, for me to do that, I'm gonna have to work 7 days a week. Like, there's no way it's gonna happen. And then I got ill. Then my body was like, you physically cannot do this. And that was a really big and hard lesson for me to both learn and accept. So I do have a lot of things going on, but everything is happening at the right pace.
Yeah.
And sometimes the pace is not what my mind wants to go at. Sometimes my brain is like, you need to do this now or next week. And I have to fight myself and say, it's not going to happen in 7 days. And that's been hard.
Yeah.
And it's a, old habits die hard. It's still something I have to remind myself, like, constantly. It's not going to happen overnight. It can't. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So.
And it's so annoying because that comparison, that little brain that comparing you to somebody else, and like what we said at the beginning, it's all fake.
It's all fake.
Like
you wouldn't even believe, if you're listening.
Yeah.
Assume it's fake before it's real.
Yeah.
Literally.
No, and it's the fake it till you make it thing is it's
a saying for a reason.
It's a saying for a reason.
Yeah.
And but I think people that do need to take that stock and are running before they can walk and having all this anxiety, it's like, remember that it's just noise a lot of the time.
It is.
And that you need to find yourself, I guess, is like
so true.
Yeah. And I feel like at 27, how are you so together? And just like, this is amazing.
I was actually in tears on the way.
Stop.
Yeah. So whatever together, just sometimes it's okay. Get through the next hour.
Need to get through. Yeah, take it a day at a time.
Yeah, take an hour.
Actually, I'm in that stage of business right now where I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
Why am I doing this? Why is it not happening? Like, and I have to keep reminding myself because I've done it for a decade and I'm still like, every day, so I want to go home and cry into my red wine.
Yeah.
And that is fine.
The feeling never really goes.
You just learn how to manage it, right?
Yeah.
And how to make it sustainable and how to, make the best of something where you want to be.
Yeah, you have to make the best of it. Because sometimes when you don't want to like get to the end or get to your goal and then you're like, oh, I actually hated every second of that.
Literally.
So I try my best to enjoy like every day, even when it's so hard. Because I just don't, this is like my life right now. Like, I'm living my life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think what you've shown like already is that you can change it.
Yeah.
If there is
Oh my
anything
God,
like,
anytime you want.
Yeah.
Even tomorrow, I
Yeah.
can wake up and say, you know what, I don't be online anymore.
yeah, delete.
And that's fine.
But you're enjoying it. So
Yeah.
it's just like, and I think the thing with an online like career is you can pivot and it changes and
Yeah.
grows with you. Your audience grow, and it's like I've seen it with friends that have been online for like a decade, how it's literally pivoted and grown with them.
Yeah.
It's so lovely to see that they still love it, but they've had to change elements of it, and it's like,
Yeah.
and you've obviously used your platform to create like this amazing linen service. So it's just
Thank you.
like, wow, and it just shows you like you can do anything really when you've got
You
that
can.
when you've got that base.
Yeah.
Like incredible. So last few little questions that I've got for you.
Okay.
So how has, like, since you've done all this, like your relationship with work and productivity has evolved? Like since getting rid of like the hustle culture, how do you maintain your productivity then and make sure that you are keeping the wheels going and keeping it like, do you have any like tried and tested methods for productivity?
Tried and tested methods of productivity.
Some people love time blocking, some people like different things.
I don't really do that. I did it like for 2 days, time blocking, and I was like, this is so intense.
shit.
I'm not doing this anymore. I felt like I was racing against the calendar. I was like, oh my God, I've got 7 minutes left. I need to move on. So don't suggest time blocking if you're mildly anxious.
Yeah.
I try to stick to a routine, and I know what I have an aura ring, so it tells me what type of person I am.
Right.
I like to go to bed early,
Mhm.
and I'm most productive at 7 a.m. till like midday. So
How does it tell you that?
I don't know. It's
my
I
God.
guess maybe like your blood pressure.
Oh my God, that's a big one. And is
I
it
don't know
right?
anything
Is that working out?
You know what? Yes, because I do love going to bed early. If I don't have 8 hours sleep, I'm the worst person you've ever met in your life. Like, you do not want to meet me without 8 hours.
Same. At a minimum, 8 hours.
Like, ideal 10 hours.
Yeah.
But that's so rare.
Yeah.
So I just keep the same routine every morning. I have the same breakfast every morning. It's super boring. And I make sure to organize my tasks, hard tasks in the morning,
Mhm.
easier tasks after lunch.
Mhm.
And that's what works for my circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah, using an
Amazing.
aura award.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I need one of those rings. It's so good.
It is. I was very skeptical.
Yeah.
But it's kind of good. I'm not
I
gonna
mean,
lie.
yeah.
Not sponsored.
No, not spawn.
Not spawn. They could spawn. Wouldn't mind a spawn.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that would be good. So what does success look like to you now versus like what it looked like 5 years ago, like before COVID?
Okay. Oh, 5 years ago, I thought success was. I thought it was having lots of money. That was sort of the be all and end all of it. Maybe because of my childhood upbringing, that's why I thought that. But now I think it's the freedom to create
Mhm.
and to have joy in your life. I think that's really, really important because that's how you keep going. Yeah, and like all the friends that I make along the way, I think that's success to me now.
Yeah, like enriching your life.
Yeah,
Like success.
enrichment.
Yeah.
I'm like a little dog now. Like, I need all my enrichment. Yeah.
It's good for us though, isn't it?
Yeah, we need it.
Right, a few quick fire questions then. Like a bit of everything, but obviously as, beauty expert as well, what is the product that you always rebuy?
I rebuy so many things. Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to try and do 2 different price points.
Yeah.
Charlotte Tilbury Magic Water Cream.
Mhm.
That pains my heart to repurchase, but I'm maybe on my 4th jar.
Yeah, it's good.
Fenty Beauty Lip Oil. Really love that.
Mhm.
And topicals eye patches.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially if you haven't slept.
Then they work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, this is like an oldie but a goodie question. So your dream dinner party guest, dead or alive?
Doja Cat.
Oh my God, that was no hesitation.
Cat.
Oh my God, that would be quite a dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's so cool.
Oh my God, so Clark that works with me, he like he's always sending me Doja Cat songs, and he's like, you need to listen to this and that. It's like, she's
Amazing.
amazing.
I'm a stan. I love Doja Cat.
Perfect. That's a
Crazy.
really, really good answer. And then obviously quite apt, your favourite historical beauty moment.
That's too hard.
I know.
God. Diana Ross with the Supremes.
Oh,
That's
iconic.
really iconic. Cleopatra, also extremely iconic. Like, she invented eyeliner, basically.
Right, yeah.
Those are my top two.
And a fringe.
And and red lips. So the originator of the good wing line.
Yeah.
Red lips.
Some strong angles.
You're right.
There you go.
Serving face.
I mean, geometrical before Vidal soon could even, like,
Exactly.
you know. There you go. And a woman leading the way,
Exactly.
Right, and the final thing, the piece of advice, like the best piece of advice that you've ever been given.
If someone tells you no, there's always another way. Never take no for an answer.
Oh, I literally love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, there are words to live by.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow. Thank you so much for
Good.
the podcast. You're literally amazing.
Great time.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Mouth hurts from smiling.
Oh my God, I'm literally going to be like getting on the Instagram now and joining the linen service because I'm like, this sounds so sick. Like, so
we'll have
cool.
the next one at your salon.
Oh my God, I'm
calling
it.
it.
You can have it, is there? So, yeah, we've got the coffee shop. We can even do like cute little cups and stuff. So, amazing. Well, thank you.
Thank you.